Okay, guys, it's time for my favorite video of the week, which is reading from a book and a line or a provision or a paragraph page that I find interesting. Today, we're talking about Outlive, the Science and Art of Longevity from Dr. Peter Attia. Can you see it there? It is a thick book. I actually listened to it first. It's super technical, so I knew I would need the book to kind of like read and reread certain sections to try to understand it and digest it better. But a main focus of Dr. Peter Attia in his book Outlive is talking about the comparison of medicine 2.0, which is where we are today, and dealing with factors after they happen, right? How do we address issues that have already arisen compared to medicine 3.0, which is what he's suggesting we start to get into, which is a more proactive plan, right? I've always thought medicine is too reactive. His book here explains the ways to be more proactive, starting earlier or right away, no matter your age, to look at certain genetic factors and different things to determine how you can approach life better. And I think what really sums up the difference of these two sections, medicine 2.0, 3.0, is a little chart that he has, which I'll share in a second. But in case you've never met me before, I'm 𝗟𝗶𝗳𝘃𝗶𝘁𝘆, an estate planning attorney in New York and New Jersey. We provide peace of mind to families through our high client value services. And if you are seeking help in estate planning or the administration after someone's passing, we can assist here in New York and New Jersey. You can reach us for a free consultation at yourplanningattorney.com. We do provide additional value all the time through our education. So share this with others so that hopefully we can help some folks along the way. Now, you may ask, why is an estate planning attorney talking about a book about longevity? Well, a lot of our planning eventually turns the conversation to long-term care. Our lives today are being prolonged, but at the very end of our lives, when our health has already diminished. That period of time is when most folks who've reached 65 in America, and we're saying 70 to 80% of folks, will need assistance just to be to cover the things that don't allow them to act independently anymore, right? This is walking from A to B. This is feeding themselves, getting dressed, showering, using the restroom, etc. This is what medicine 2.0 is trying to address when we get ill in our later years and have heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, etc. And let me show you again in Dr. Peter Attia's book, Outlive, the Science and Art of Longevity. I'm going to show you this quick little lifespan, health span chart on page 39. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. You can see here the one that diminishes quickly. This is what we're talking about in long-term care, right? We have an issue at the end of our life. And we have ways now to kind of combat it, but what is it doing? It's only extending our poor health longer, right? I think our goal instead is we want to prolong our healthy life longer. And that's what he's proposing here in medicine 3.0, is a longer, healthier life before, of course, at some point, a fairly rapid but brief decline, right? And I'll read a couple of quick sections that kind of outline this understanding of this chart. He says on page 39 into 40, it says, at a certain point, the decline begins to steepen. Eventually, sometime around age 70 or 75, give or take, your cognitive and physical capacities will diminish to roughly their halfway point, which I sort of arbitrarily define as the point below which you are no longer able to do the things you want to do with ease. he talks in the book somewhere about, what do you want those senior years to look like? Do you want to be able to get up from the floor with your grandkids? Be on the floor in general with your grandkids. Do you want to be able to bike several miles, right? Or more? Do you want to be able to travel significantly? And once you have that view, you know the work you have to put in ahead of time. I'm going to skip around just a little bit. He's saying at the same time, right, once your cognitive physical abilities have declined, your own risk for chronic diseases is rising exponentially, right? And that's where Medicine 2.0 comes in. And yes, it is treating things like your heart disease, your cancers, your other issues, but it's prolonging your life, those few months or years, at a low level of health. So he points then to, now look at the long dashed line in the graph. If you remember, that was the top one. This represents your ideal trajectory. This is what you want. Instead of beginning a slow decline in midlife, your overall health span stays the same or even improves into your 50s and beyond. You will feel fitter and healthier at 55 and even 65 than you were at 45, and will remain physically fit and cognitively sharp well into your 70s and 80s and possibly beyond. You will seem like someone a decade younger than the age on your passport, or possibly two. There is much more space under the curve, and all that space represents your longer, better life. More time being with your family, pursuing your passions, traveling, or continuing to do meaningful work. Moreover, when you do begin to decline, the descent is steep but relatively brief. This is called squaring the longevity curve. I think there's a lot to be said for being more proactive in life for our health, for our ability to live a better life, not have to worry about maybe such a financial impact that an unhealthy life could bring to our family members and really to what we've earned throughout our lifetime. So again, I'm 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗃𝗃 Zammitti of Zammitti Law, an estate planning attorney in New York and New Jersey. If you are seeking assistance in either estate planning or administration after a passing, we are here to help those in New York and New Jersey. You can find us at yourplanningattorney.com for a free consultation. We hope you've learned something new here today. We hope you grab Peter Attia's Outlive book and learn a few things there as well. And please don't forget to share. And as always, take care.